Welcome, gentlemen, to Healthy Men 70 Plus. This is your trusted space for vital health insights as you navigate this incredible stage of life. I'm Emily Johnson, your health and wellness coach, and it's really a pleasure to connect with you today. We're about to start a deep dive into something that, well, it might just turn your daily snack routine on its head. We're talking about the surprising, often overlooked impact certain common nuts can have on prostate health, specifically for men over 60.
And I'm Robert Miller, your senior men's health specialist. It's great to be here. Our mission today, it's pretty clear. We want to unpack the real science behind why some of these everyday snacks might be, silently contributing to prostate enlargement and those frustrating urinary issues that go along with it. We really want to empower you with knowledge so you can hopefully regain comfort, confidence, and control in your daily life.
Exactly, because understanding these connections, it can lead to significant improvements. Think about better sleep, less urgency running to the bathroom, just feeling more like yourself again.
Absolutely. So let's just jump right in.
Okay, let's unpack this. First surprising candidate, peanuts. I mean, for so many of us, they're just steeped in nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
A staple from childhood.
Oh, yeah. PB&J sandwiches, ball games.
Totally. We just perceive them as this healthy, kind of innocent snack.
Yeah.
But you're suggesting this staple might actually be a quiet adversary for a prostate, especially after 60. That feels counterintuitive.
It absolutely does, Emily, and that's why this deep dive is so important. While peanuts do offer some nutrients for men over 60, their downsides can often outweigh the benefits when it comes to prostate health. We're looking at three main issues, really.
Oh.
First, peanuts are notoriously high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, our bodies do need omega-6, that's true, but the critical point is the balance with omega-3s.
Right, the ratio.
Exactly. Think of it like a dimmer switch for inflammation in your body. Omega-3 tends to turn it down. Omega-6, especially when you get too much, can crank it right up. When that ratio is way off balance, which happens a lot in modern diets, that dimmer switch gets kind of stuck on high.
Ah, fueling chronic inflammation.
Precisely. And inflammation is a primary driver behind prostate enlargement, or BPH. So you could say every handful of peanuts you eat might be subtly pouring more fuel onto an existing inflammatory fire right there in your prostate, making it swell, making it irritated.
That's a powerful analogy. And I know you mentioned other concerns too, beyond just inflammation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Second big issue. Peanuts are highly susceptible to contamination from aflatoxins. These are invisible, tasteless toxins produced by certain molds that can grow on peanuts, especially during storage. It's humid.
Invisible and tasteless. That's worrying.
It is. You won't taste them, but your body feels their effect. Aflatoxins can damage cellular DNA, they increase oxidative stress, and they could potentially raise the risk of cancer, especially for a sensitive gland like the prostate. It's like inviting this silent microscopic intruder into your system.
Wow. Okay. And the third point.
The third point is phytoestrogens. Peanuts contain these plant-based compounds that, well, they subtly mimic the hormone estrogen in the body. Now, as men age, testosterone naturally declines, right? And estrogen activity tends to become relatively stronger. So if you're introducing more estrogen-like compounds through your diet,
You're tipping that balance even further.
exactly, you're potentially exacerbating this imbalance, which can push the prostate toward further growth.
So for someone listening who's thinking, look, I've had peanuts my whole life, I feel fine, are we talking immediate noticeable effects? Or is this more insidious, happening over time?
That's a great question. And usually these aren't sudden, dramatic changes. They're slow. They creep up on you. So I'd ask you, the listener, are you really fine? Are you sleeping all the way through the night without that urgent need to get up? Do you feel the same confidence in your urinary flow, the strength of it, as you did maybe back at 50? For many men, the honest answer is probably a quiet no. And it's these daily habits like regular peanut consumption that often contribute. Sometimes, simply removing peanuts can be a really significant first step. It helps reduce inflammation, calm down that hormonal environment, and just give your prostate some much-needed relief.
That's incredibly practical advice. Okay, let's shift focus. Cashews. Lots of people reach for these. They're creamy, maybe seen as a healthier alternative to, say, chips or candy. But are cashews as innocent as they appear in this prostate puzzle?
Yeah, unfortunately, probably not. Cashews, despite that lovely buttery texture, can contribute to the very prostate and urinary troubles we're trying to help you avoid. They, too, are notably high in omega-6 fatty acids.
Ah, so that same inflammation issue again.
That same issue, you keep adding those pro-inflammatory signals, and your prostate, it kind of acts like a sponge, doesn't it? It swells up, puts pressure on the urethra, and that leads to the weak stream, the hesitancy, that constant feeling like you need to go. But cashews have a couple of other tricks up their sleeve, too.
Oh, great. More hidden dangers. What else should we know about cashews?
Well, they're also quite high in oxalates. These are natural compounds, but they can contribute to kidney stone formation in some people. And importantly for this discussion, they can irritate the urinary tract.
Okay, so adding irritation on top of potential enlargement.
Exactly. If you're already dealing with an enlarging prostate, that extra irritation can compound your discomfort, maybe wake you up more at night. And here's a familiar culprit we'll see again. Cashews are very calorie dense and super easy to overeat.
Oh yeah, a handful turns into half the container pretty fast.
It really does. And those extra calories often translate into weight gain, especially around the belly. And that belly fat, it isn't just passive weight. It's hormonally active. It acts like a little estrogen factory.
An estrogen factory.
Wow. Yeah, it disrupts your natural testosterone balance. And that hormonal shift, again, further promotes prostate growth. So a regular cashew habit, even if it feels healthy, can really tip the scales in the wrong direction for your prostate health.
It sounds like something as seemingly benign as a cashew could be a real problem in the long run then. Is there a practical swap for someone who loves that creamy texture?
Yeah, absolutely. Many of my patients have found good success just by swapping cashews for, say, almonds or maybe walnuts. And often, Emily, within just a few weeks, they report noticeable improvements. Things like less bloating, more consistent energy, and crucially, fewer trips to the bathroom at night.
That's fantastic.
It really shows that sometimes the smallest shifts in our habits can yield the biggest returns in comfort.
Such a great takeaway. Okay, now let's talk pecans. These often bring up warm memories, right? Holidays, family gatherings, pies.
Oh, definitely comfort food.
Yeah, and they're frequently seen as just a wholesome snack. But are you suggesting this holiday favorite might actually be working against us?
It's a tough one, but yes, that can be the difficult truth. Pecans, delightful as they are, can quietly undermine prostate health, especially for you men over 60 who might already be struggling with waking up at night. They are another major offender in that omega-6 department.
Back to the inflammation dimmer switch.
Back to the dimmer switch. Pecans contribute significantly to keeping it cranked up high, and that inflammation often silently settles right there in the prostate, causing it to swell, press on your bladder, and suddenly you're waking up 2, 3, 4 times a night, and you can't quite figure out why. Pecans might taste sweet, but internally, they could be stirring up a storm.
So it's not just the direct inflammatory effect then. What about their overall nutritional profile? Are they dense too?
They are incredibly calorie dense. Just a small handful packs way more calories than most people realize, which makes them really easy to overconsume, especially if you're just snacking casually. And we know what often happens with that kind of snacking. Slow, insidious weight gain, especially that stubborn belly fat. And as we just discussed with cashews, that belly fat is more than just extra padding. It's that active estrogen factory.
Producing excess estrogen.
Exactly. Further disrupting your testosterone balance, which is already naturally declining with age. And more estrogen activity means more signals telling your prostate to grow. So if pecans are a regular thing in your diet, maybe in trail mix or just snacking, it's definitely worth rethinking that habit for the sake of your sleep and your prostate.
That makes a lot of sense, connecting those dots between diet, weight, hormones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from pecans, let's turn to pine nuts. These often feel a bit more, refined. Gourmet, you see them sprinkled on salads and pesto.
Right, they have that sophisticated vibe.
Yeah, generally considered a healthy choice, but you're saying they, too, carry a hidden danger for the prostate.
They do. Pine nuts, despite that upscale reputation, can be quietly undermining your prostate health. Like many nuts we've discussed, their high omega-6 content is a factor. It contributes to tipping your body towards that state of chronic inflammation.
The slow burn.
The slow burn, exactly. Inside the prostate, leading to swelling, irritation, and more frequent or urgent bathroom trips. It's becoming a consistent theme, isn't it?
It really is. But pine nuts also have that unique and sometimes unsettling reaction associated with them. Something called pine mouth.
Exactly, pine mouth syndrome. Not everyone gets it, but for those who do, it leaves this awful, bitter, metallic taste in the mouth that can last for days, even weeks.
Okay, but why does that matter for your prostate?
Well, it matters because it's a clue. It's a subtle sign that pine nuts can trigger oxidative stress and irritate your system generally. The same kind of cellular stress that's affecting your taste buds could be happening in the background elsewhere in your body, including your prostate cells.
Ah, I see.
Over time, that extra burden, that oxidative stress, can weaken prostate tissue and make it more vulnerable to enlargement. I actually recall working with a gentleman, late 60s, meticulous about his health, ate a salad with pine nuts every single evening.
Okay.
And he was wailing up 4, maybe 5 times a night, just miserable. After we talked about this connection, he cut them out, switched to walnuts instead. Months later, he told me, and he was almost in tears, Emily. He said it was the first time in years he had consistently slept through the night.
Wow, that's incredible.
It really highlights how sometimes the smallest dietary changes, the ones you barely notice, can make the biggest, most dignified difference in your quality of life.
That's a truly powerful anecdote. Makes you wonder what else we might be unknowingly consuming. Okay, number 5, macadamia nuts. Often marketed as this luxurious indulgence. They're buttery, rich.
Very decadent feeling.
Yeah, and sometimes chosen specifically for their perceived heart-healthy fats. But are they truly as prostate-friendly as their reputation might suggest?
That's a critical question, and the answer, well, unfortunately, it's not always. Macadamia nuts, delicious as they are, can present some quiet challenges for your prostate. The first issue is their very high saturated fat content. Now, a little saturated fat is okay, it's part of a balanced diet, but regular heavy consumption can elevate cholesterol levels.
Right, which we usually think of for heart health.
Exactly. But higher cholesterol doesn't just impact your heart, it can impair circulation throughout your entire body, including the delicate pelvic region where your prostate sits. Poor blood flow means less oxygen, fewer vital nutrients reaching the prostate.
Which can make enlargement worse.
It can exacerbate enlargement and worsen those urinary symptoms, less support for the tissue.
Okay, and their richness probably hints at another familiar issue, calorie density.
You got it. Macadamia nuts are extremely calorie dense, and because they taste so good and feel so satisfying, it is so easy to eat far more than you intend to.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. Those excess calories, though, they frequently contribute to weight gain, particularly around the midsection. And by now, we know the story with belly fat, right?
The estrogen factory.
It's hormonally active, producing those estrogen-like signals that can weaken the effectiveness of your natural testosterone. When that hormonal balance gets skewed, the prostate is more susceptible to growth, slowly tightening its grip on your urethra. I worked with a gentleman in his 70s, lovely guy, had a nightly ritual, a small bowl of macadamia nuts while watching TV. When he stopped that habit, just cut them out, he saw a significant reduction in his nighttime bathroom trips. And he even reported having more energy during the day. It's another clear example of how even seemingly small habit changes can restore a real sense of comfort and dignity.
Incredibly insightful. Okay, let's move to pistachios. These are such a fun snack, aren't they? Kind of addictive.
Yeah, the shelling process makes them interactive.
Right, often seen as light, healthy. You see them in bowls at parties or on coffee tables. But you're saying these vibrant green nuts can stir up their own brand of trouble.
They absolutely can. Pistachios, despite their popularity and fun factor, can quietly contribute to prostate issues. Once again, and I know this is getting repetitive, but it's important they're high content of omega-6 fatty acids.
Fanning those inflammatory flames again.
Exactly. Regular consumption keeps that inflammatory state active, which acts as a silent driver for prostate enlargement, often showing up as those frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom or a weaker urinary stream.
Okay, so another inflammatory culprit. Is there anything else unique about pistachios that makes them particularly problematic, though?
There is actually a less commonly known issue. Their high level of natural carbohydrates called fructans. For many men, maybe even without realizing it, fructans can cause digestive distress, things like bloating, gas, general gut irritation.
Okay, but what does my gut have to do with my prostate?
That's a fair question. They're more connected than you might think. When your gut is irritated and inflamed, your immune system activates systemically. And that widespread immune response can kind of spill over into other sensitive areas, including your prostate.
Ah, so gut inflammation can fuel prostate inflammation.
It can certainly contribute, fueling inflammation and worsening symptoms. Many men don't make that connection between, say, feeling bloated and having to pee more often. But when they cut back on high fructan foods like pistachios, they often see improvements in both their digestion and their urinary issues. Plus, let's be honest, who really stops at just a few pistachios?
Sure.
Those couple of handfuls can quickly add up to hundreds of extra calories, again, contributing to that problematic belly fat, disrupting hormones, and encouraging prostate growth.
That connection between gut health and prostate health is fascinating, something many might overlook. Okay, what about sunflower seeds? These feel almost innocent, don't they? A classic nostalgic snack. calm and satisfying. Are they truly as harmless as they seem?
Sadly, Emily, sunflower seeds can be quite deceptive, especially for you men over 60. One of the biggest issues, and here's that recurring theme again, is their extremely high content of omega-6 fatty acids. Way up there.
So really pushing that inflammation button hard.
Really pushing it hard. This means they are consistently feeding that inflammatory engine behind prostate enlargement. It's that quiet, persistent process that often shows up as waking up 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a night, or that nagging sense of urgency during the day. Every handful is likely adding to that cycle.
Still feeding that inflammatory fire.
Yeah.
Is there another unique hidden danger with sunflower seeds specifically?
There is, and it's about their fragility. The oils in sunflower seeds are particularly prone to oxidation. They go rancid easily.
Rancid.
Yeah. When they're roasted or exposed to light or just left sitting in a bag for extended periods, those delicate oils can break down and turn rancid. And rancid oils create free radicals. These are unstable molecules that attack healthy cells all throughout your body, including those in your prostate.
So direct cellular damage from rancid oils.
Exactly. That oxidative stress weakens the tissue, makes the prostate more vulnerable to swelling, irritation, enlargement. I remember a retired truck driver I worked with loved snapping on sunflower seeds in his cab, went through bags every week. His nights were just miserable.
Oh, dear.
When he finally took them out of his diet, replaced them with options like walnuts or almonds, he told me quite emotionally that he got his nights back within just a few months. It's incredible how much impact these seemingly small, everyday habits can have on your well-being.
Absolutely incredible. Okay, from the innocent-looking sunflower seed, let's discuss pumpkin seeds. Now, these have almost a legendary reputation for men's health, right? Often cited for zinc.
The prostate superfood label gets thrown around a lot.
Exactly. Widely considered beneficial, at least in small amounts. But Robert, can even a supposed superfood like pumpkin seeds be problematic when overdone?
Yes, Emily, this is a classic case where too much of a good thing can actually turn into a problem. While pumpkin seeds in moderation can offer benefits to zinc, other plant compounds when they become a daily staple or you eat large quantities, they can quietly start doing more harm than good for your prostate.
How so? What's the mechanism there?
Well, they are rich in something called phytosterols. These are plant-based compounds that can mimic some of the body's natural hormones. Now, in small doses, this might have a positive effect, maybe helping with urinary flow slightly, but higher amounts can create what I sometimes call hormonal confusion in older men whose testosterone is already naturally declining.
Hormonal confusion.
Yeah, these compounds deliver estrogen-like signals to the body, and for an aging prostate, that's generally not helpful. It can push it towards growth. Your body doesn't really need extra estrogen-like signals in abundance at this stage.
So it's not that they're inherently bad, but the dose and how it interacts with an aging male body, that's the key factor.
Precisely. And like many seeds, they're deceptively calorie dense. It's very easy to overeat them, especially the roasted and salted kind.
Easy to snack on mindlessly.
Very easy. Those calories accumulate, often contributing to that familiar belly fat issue we keep coming back to. And that fat, combined with an excess of these phytosterols from too many pumpkin seeds, creates a hormonal environment that actively encourages prostate enlargement. I had a patient, early 70s, huge advocate for pumpkin seeds, snacked on them daily, truly convinced they were his prostate medicine.
Oh, wow.
Yet he was still waking multiple times each night, frustrated. When I gently explained this nuance, suggested maybe cutting back significantly, he was quite skeptical.
I bet.
But a few months later, he came back and sheepishly admitted, actually with a bit of a laugh, that his nights were much calmer. His bathroom trips were significantly less urgent. It really drove home that moderation is the key here, not just assuming more is always better with supplements or healthy foods.
That's a vital distinction, especially with something so heavily marketed for men's health. Okay, next up, sesame seeds. Tiny little things seem utterly harmless. Sprinkled on everything, bagels, stir-fries, breads.
And the main ingredient in tahini, which is in hummus.
Right, often perceived as very healthy. But you're saying even these tiny seeds carry a big hormonal message for men.
They absolutely do. And it's a message that can subtly feed prostate troubles over time. Sesame seeds are particularly rich in compounds called lignans. These are potent phytoestrogens.
Ah, so similar to the peanut issue, but maybe even stronger.
Potentially, yes. They mimic estrogen in your body quite effectively. And again, for older men with naturally declining testosterone levels, introducing more estrogen-like activity just worsens that delicate balance. Your prostate is highly responsive to hormonal signals. The more estrogen-like signals it receives, the more it tends to swell and tighten around your urinary passage.
Leading to weaker stream, more frequent trips.
Exactly. The familiar symptoms.
And like some of the other nuts and seeds, I imagine it's easy to underestimate how much sesame we actually consume daily.
Precisely. It's easy to overlook. A sprinkle on your salad here, a coating on a fish fillet there, maybe a generous portion of hummus made with tahini at lunch. It all adds up very quickly without you even realizing it. Those repeated, seemingly small exposures can subtly nudge aging hormones just enough over time to promote prostate growth. I recall a patient who had proudly switched from mayonnaise to tahini-based spreads on his sandwiches, thinking he was making a healthier choice.
Okay.
But he was incredibly frustrated by his constant nighttime bathroom routine. Once we connected the dots and he scaled back his sesame intake significantly, his nights became far less disrupted. His words. He felt he'd regained a real sense of control over his sleep.
That's another great example of how these hidden factors in seemingly healthy foods can play a role. Okay, our final nut on the list. This one is often celebrated as a superfood. Brazil nuts.
Famous for selenium.
Right, rich in selenium. You often hear advice like, just eat 1 or 2 a day for optimal health. But you're saying there's a hidden toxic risk if they're eaten too freely.
This one surprises many people, Emily, because Brazil nuts are genuinely packed with selenium, which is a vital mineral for thyroid function, immunity. However, that very high concentration is exactly where the danger lies when they're overdone, especially for men over 60 concerned about their prostate. The key issue is potential selenium overdose or selenium toxicity.
Overdose from just a few nuts.
It sounds strange, but yes, just 2 or 3 large Brazil nuts can contain several times the daily recommended upper limit for selenium intake. And over time, consuming that much excess doesn't make you healthier, it actually becomes toxic to the system.
What kind of symptoms does selenium toxicity cause?
It can cause a range of issues: fatigue, hair loss, brittle nails, digestive upset, irritability. And critically for our discussion today, it can disturb your hormonal balance. And when your complex hormonal system is thrown out of whack, the prostate is often one of the first organs to react negatively.
So even something widely considered a healthy amount, like a couple a day, could quickly become too much for some individuals over time.
Exactly, especially if you're eating them consistently every single day. I remember a gentleman, early 70s sharp guy, who was eating a small handful of Brazil nuts every single morning. He thought he was optimizing his health, doing everything right. His selenium levels, when tested, were through the roof. And he was dealing with persistent fatigue he couldn't explain, irritability, and his prostate symptoms were getting significantly worse. When we identified the Brazil nuts as the likely culprit and helped him drastically reduce his intake, maybe 1 or 2 a week at most, if that, the difference was dramatic. Yes, his energy came back, his mood improved, and his prostate symptoms began to ease considerably. It was a stark lesson. What he thought was a beneficial health habit had, in fact, been actively sabotaging him. And just like many of these other nuts, let's not forget Brazil nuts are also incredibly calorie dense. Overeating them easily adds hundreds of calories, contributing to that belly fat, which further disrupts testosterone and fuels prostate growth.
Wow. Okay, so to recap this fascinating and frankly quite eye-opening deep dive, we've walked through 10 common nuts and seeds that, while often perceived as healthy, can quietly contribute to prostate issues for you men over 60. That list was peanuts, cashews, pecans, pine nuts, macadamia nuts, pistachios, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, and Brazil nuts. It seems pretty clear that while individually they might seem harmless, maybe in small amounts, their combined or excessive impact on an aging body, especially the sensitive prostate, is really quite significant.
That's right, Emily. And the key message I really want to leave everyone with is that you are absolutely not powerless in this. You have control. Small, informed changes in your diet can have a truly profound effect on how you feel day to day and night to night. Many of my patients, simply by being more mindful, may be removing these specific nuts for a while and choosing truly prostate-friendly options instead, things like walnuts, almonds in moderation. They experience improvements they genuinely didn't think were possible anymore. Better sleep, fewer interruptions, just a renewed sense of control over their own bodies.
Indeed. As we've deep dived into these surprising impacts, maybe the real lesson isn't just about what not to eat. Perhaps it's about rediscovering that profound, intricate connection between every seemingly small dietary choice we make and our long-term health and comfort. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, what other healthy habits we might need to re-examine in the pursuit of true comfort and control, especially in our later years.
That's a great final thought. Your health is truly in your hands. And even at this stage of life, you absolutely have the power to make changes. Changes that can restore comfort, strength, and dignity. Protecting your prostate, it really begins with this kind of awareness we've discussed today, and it continues with decisive, informed action.
We sincerely hope this deep dive has provided you with valuable, actionable insights. If you found this information helpful, please do give this deep dive a like, perhaps share it with friends or family members who might benefit, and definitely subscribe to Healthy Men 70 Plus for more vital health insights like this.
Yes, thank you all so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We truly appreciate your time and your commitment to your own health journey.
We look forward to our next deep dive together. Until then, stay well, gentlemen.